Good morning everybody, welcome back to Crochet Through Corona's crochet along of the JellyPal. Hopefully at the end of our last video you have something that looks a bit like this. If it's not exactly the same or not feeling perfect, do not worry, it will make no difference to the next few stages. These are very unique and just once they're attached, that's it, they're done. So whatever yours is looking like, it's looking great, I can tell you. So I didn't really show you how to fasten off. So when you pull through the yarn, through the loop, you then need to just thread it through a needle and feed it back into the inside, because this will be the inside of your JellyPal. So if you just feed all the loose ends into the underneath, into here, and then tie them off, you don't need to worry about it being too neat, just make sure it's secure, and then you can leave the straggly bits because they'll just act as stuffing, so it doesn't matter. So that is your tentacles from last time. Again, if you had any difficulties, do get in touch and I'll see what I can do to help. I might need a little video if it's something I'm struggling to see. But there's our tentacles. I had 7. So yeah, if that helps, but as I say, there doesn't need to be exactly 7. So in this video, you're going to need some different colour yarns if you have them. If not, it really doesn't matter. You can just carry on with the same colour yarn. The shape will be different, so that'll also break it up. I've got 2. I think 2 works quite well with this pattern. And you'll need the same hook, the needles, and your scissors. And we are still going to be doing some lots of chaining and lots of crocheting back along yourself in a tight loop, but this time it's a little bit quicker because we're only doing single crochet, one lot of single crochet. So we're going to make the middle tentacles now. Oh, that's something I should have had with me to show you. Bear with. In my bag of wonders down here. Right, so this time we're going to be making these middle tentacles. So they're just a bit thinner, less tight, and easier to make basically. And that's where it breaks up the colour if you have a different colour. So we're going to do our chaining as before. This time we are not attaching it to this. So we start by just chaining, nice and simple. So leave a long tail because you're going to need that to attach it. And then we start our chain as we do normally, and we chain 46. 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And as ever, keeping it quite tight with these chains because we do want them to curl up a little bit. And there's my 46. So as it does seem a bit contradictory because I have been telling you to do fairly loose chains in other projects, but because we want it to curl up a little bit, the tighter the better on this project. And then we're going to work back along this chain, but where we were going 2 per stitch last time, we are only going to do 1, and it's just single crochet. So we go in the second chain from hook, so there's our first chain, the one that the yarn's going through, and we're going in the second chain from hook. And we're just going to do a simple single crochet all the way back along. And you will notice that over time it will start to curl a little bit, but it will not be as tight and curly as the larger tentacles that we did attach to the body. And this is where I am going to just probably not even going to show you all the way to the end because that'd be boring for you. So when you get to the end, you do what I've just done there, or you pull some yarn through and you cut to release your yarn. And again, you want to leave a reasonably long tail. Now here are some I prepared earlier. So this is my other working JellyPal, my prep one, and this is an inner tentacle that I've already made. And then you need your starting chain to have a long tail, and at the end have a long tail when you've cast off. And I tend to do 3 of each colour. So I've done 3 pinks, and they'll just be quite wavy and loose and feeling like they're different lengths, and I think that adds to the character. So there's literally no pressure on what these should or shouldn't look like. And then I did 3 purpley maroony colour, whatever this is. Okay, so at the end you want 6, if possible, 6 middle tentacles. And when you've got all your tentacles, it's time to attach them to your body. And this is actually quite simple. So you need your darning needle, and you're going to thread both of your strands into the darning needle. So just take 1 tentacle, thread both of your ends into your darning needle, and then once it's attached, you're going to take your base, flop all the tentacles to the side, but you are going with the tentacle end, so the tentacles are there. I'm going to flip it so the tentacles are all flopping over the side, and we're going into this hole in the middle. It does feel a little bit wrong, but hey, roll with it. It's Monday morning. Hey, I'm quite chirpy for Monday morning. Hey everybody, I'm literally just doing this video now because yesterday was too chaotic. And look at this, it's chirpy and everything. And then you just do the same with each one. So you just feed both the strands onto your darning needle, pull them through, and then feed the next one in. I like to alternate colours so that you make sure you're getting a bit of a mixed spread of where they're going to be positioned. And then you just pull it through and pull all your spare yarn through and release. So it's getting... I'm quite excited about this. This is a different size JellyPal to what I'm usually used to making. I think this could be quite a good like hanging toy. Or nice for adults who like jellyfish, to be honest, or octopuses. They're quite similar. Well, not in marine biology terms, they're not actually species level, they're quite different. But they look very similar. Just in case there are any other marine biologists watching this. I haven't gone completely off the rails. Yes, that is what I used to do before I sat here teaching people to crochet. Worlds apart. Yeah, I'm still finding my way back with the old JellyPal. And there's another one going in here. You can start to get a feel of what it's going to look like. It will get a little bit harder to feed them in the more you get into the middle. Make sure you're pulling them all the way through each time. You don't really want a gap between the start and the base, so you want to be pulling them nice and tight into the body. Just 2 more to do here. It's a bit fiddly, but also quite satisfying, I think, by the end of this section. I think you'll feel like it's all coming together a little bit. Yeah. Oh, children crying in the background. I'm off duty, don't worry. Right. And final one. I definitely have wrist cramp. Doing the bigger octopus, if you're a JellyPal, if you're using the thicker yarn like me, I hadn't realised how much longer it takes to make than if you are just using the lighter weight yarn that I usually make, and how much heavier and everything and more effort it is on the wrist. So apologies if you are using thicker yarn, but as I say, I think you will have a nice finished product at the end of it. But it is a bit of a workout on the wrist. I've definitely got repetitive strain injury, so do this at your own pace. Take breaks when you need to. There we go. And then you want to just pull up all of your strands so they're all forming a nice neat centre. Okay, and you can see they're all just in the middle there, mixed together. Make sure they're pulled nice and tight all the way through. Work through each of the strands, making sure they're pulled in, and then you just want to tie a big knot to keep them in place. I really need to learn to put my phone on airplane mode when I'm doing this, because I can't see what I'm showing you when everybody messages. And that makes it sound like I'm so popular, but don't worry, I'm not. It's always the same. Okay. There we go. And then you just pull that knot as nice and tight to the base as you can. And now you have your tentacles secured. If you want to, and you've got enough strands, you can do another knot or split it in half like this, and then just do another simple knot across just to make sure they stay nice and tight. You don't want the children to be able to pull it off. There we go, very secure now. And there are our tentacles. So you've still got some other strands. You can choose to tie these in now as well if you want, so they're all in one place and not in your way. Maybe that's a good idea. I'll suggest you do that, so that it makes it a bit easier to see what I'm doing in the next few rounds. But you don't want to pull it too tight there. So let's be careful you're not pulling your lip up as you go. Don't take any extra tension than you need to. And then we have our beautiful bunch of tentacles. That is your base completed. Well done if you've got this far. I hope you are feeling excited about your finished product now. Now you can see this lovely array of tentacles. I'm getting strangely excited by this. I think it's going to be really nice. So tomorrow we will be back to make the head of the body. We're going to start by making this section here, this disc, and then we'll finish off the final day with putting our eyes on, stuffing, and attaching the two together with this frilly border here. I hope you're enjoying the project so far. By the end we will need a bit of stuffing, so if you've been collecting all your loose ends, bring those along to the final session. That's not tomorrow, that's the day after. Or if you let me start, when I was starting out, I just started pulling out the middle of cushions. So we have a couple of cushions that are lacking in stuffing at the minute, and that was because I just started pulling them out. Or what I would normally use is a recycled cotton stuffing by Hooked. You can find them online, and they do some great ethical and eco-friendly stuffing, and that's what I actually use for my baby toys. You do need to be careful what you're using if you're going to be giving it to a baby, and just check that it's fire and baby safe. Alright, see you in the next video, and happy playing with your tentacles. Quite stress relieving actually, isn't it? Okay, have a great day everybody, happy bank holiday, and see you soon.